This video is how to build your offer in 3 simple steps. And this video is for you if you're an aspiring entrepreneur who knows that they want to start a business but is having trouble getting started. The first 5 people who comment startup below will get 1 hour of free startup coaching from me, where we can talk about whatever you want, either if you haven't gotten started and want to get started, or if you've already gotten started and want help in growing it. Step number 1 in making your offer for your business or your startup is based on your service or the outcome that you deliver for your clients or your customers. What is the customer journey that you and the customer has to venture through together or separately? Because you can work together in different ways depending on whether it's something that you just do for them, other stuff you do together, is it just something they have to do? But you have to know what are the steps that you go through. To use my business as an example, I help aspiring entrepreneurs start a business and get their first $1,000 in 90 days. And so that's quite a broad statement covering the entire offer. But in that journey, there is knowing what to sell, there is knowing how to put together that offer, which is similar to what this video is about. There is knowing who to reach out to, there is how to reach out to those people, how to sell and close those people, how to deliver to those people, how to get reviews, testimonials. All these things are steps that go into the customer journey from you start to you get to the end result. So you have to know, what does the customer journey look like for your business? Step number 2 is making a version 1 solution. Once you've determined what the customer journey looks like and you know all the milestones or all the steps that you and or the customer has to go through, at this point you make a version 1 solution. What is that? Glad you asked. Well, a version 1 solution is the simplest form of your solution that you can start delivering to your customers. And so, based on those customer journey steps that you identified, you want to look at, for each of those steps in the customer journey, you have to deliver something. And that can be a variety of different ways that you deliver something, but you have to either do something, help the customer do something in order to progress through and checkmark that specific step. And for each of those steps in that customer journey and each of those milestones, you want to consider, if I were to make the highest quality solution or the solution with the best guarantee of this working out, this specific step, what would that solution be? Would it be some text file? Would it be some video, some audio, live, some kind of solution like that? The second consideration is, if I were to do it in the fastest way possible for me as the one making this solution for the customer, what would that look like? And thirdly, you want to consider, if I were to make it as cheaply as possible, how would I do it? And when you've written down how you can complete that specific solution in the most high quality way, the cheapest way, and in the fastest way, then you look at, okay, is there any way that I can combine, number 1, the high quality and guaranteed solution with either the fastest or the cheapest solution? And I say that because you don't want to skimp out on the quality or the guarantee of the solution, because that is what's going to give the customer experience and the outcome in the end. And so we always want to deliver as high quality as possible within the boundaries of what is necessary for them to get the result. Once you've compared what is the highest quality with what is cheapest, what is fastest, and looked for a way to combine 1 and 2 and or 3, if you can find all 3 together, that would be the absolute most ideal. But usually this is a trade-off, and you have to look at what would generate the highest amount of value for your customer, not what is the highest value for you. And then how can you do that either the fastest or the quickest? And then you choose whatever solution you think makes the most sense and use that as the solution in that specific customer journey step. Once you've done that through the entire customer journey, and you might have 1 step, you might have 2 steps, you might have 3 steps, you might have 10 steps, depending on how intricate your offer is and the service you deliver or the product that you service. Once you've been through all of those, you have your version 1. And now we get to the real deal. At this point, step 3 is getting started. It is testing your solution. And how do you do that? You do that by delivering it, right? And so since you might not have a ton of experience, since you're watching this video and you're starting from scratch, then the way to do it is by giving away your solution and your delivery for free. And if you have any kind of issue with that in an egotistical way, then entrepreneurship is going to be really difficult for you, because there are going to be a ton of things that you don't know how to do initially. And if you want people to use your service or your product, you have to be willing to test it and give it away for free initially to get feedback, reviews, testimonials. And later, when there are new things you have to learn, if you're not willing to get help from other people, acknowledge that there are stuff you don't know, then it will also be incredibly difficult. You will put barriers on yourself and you will have a hard time progressing to the next level. So I highly, highly recommend that you take any kind of ego you might have and push it as far to the side as possible, and just recognize that it is a game of asking others for help as much as possible. And the good thing is though that in the beginning, when you're new, a lot of people actually are quite keen and open to helping you make it work. So thus step 3 is deliver and test it. And the easiest way to do this is to reach out to people who you know, write a message or make a video. I saw this by Gary Vee the other day, which was incredible, which I'm going to use in my startup coaching program as well. He said, record the video where you say, hey, I'm starting this business, doing this and this and this. Right now I'm taking on X number of clients. I'm going to service this and this. And do you know anyone who would be interested in that? And then you send it off to everybody you know. And then of course you let them know that it's free. And if you send that to all of the contacts you have, you are almost guaranteed to at least have a couple of people who either know someone else or don't mind trying it for you. And thus you can deliver it, get the experience of what it's like to actually deliver your offer to someone else, get their feedback on it. And I promise you, just the first time that you do this, the experience that you have in delivering what you've created to someone else, one, it's absolutely amazing and incredibly fulfilling, but also, and more importantly, there will be a number of things that you realize that you didn't account for and that you are already going to want to change before you've even gotten started, right? But you have to be okay with that. That's the whole point of doing this. And so the whole idea is you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great, right? That's the whole point of this video. And why do I say that? Well, if you don't have your first try, well, you're never going to get to your second, third, or fourth try. And ultimately, the game of business is a game of persistence. And the one who can stick it out for the longest is usually the one who will win. And so if you can put your ego to the side and just focus on getting started with the mindset of going into it to learn and pivot and adjust, then the chances of you actually making it are going to be so much higher. And I hope that for you. Like I want to see you succeed. And so this video has been about making your core offer. If you want an entire course on how to start your business and get those first $1,000, one, I hope that you were one of the first 5 people to comment startup, so you can get that free hour of startup coaching. If not, I have a link to my course, which is completely free. I've taken all the materials I use in my startup coaching program where I work one-on-one with my clients. And I've put all the materials into that course, which you can get completely for free. It's part of my mission to help make entrepreneurship available to everyone. That's why I do that. It takes 30 seconds and you will get everything. I really hope that can help you out. As always, thank you for watching and stay disciplined.